It's just one step at a time, and you got the forms, you'll have these forms so you can go over, but rather than read what people are saying, I want you to think about this means this means this means this. When you should put them together, you start seeing the meaning of how. So right now we're just doing each category separately, but when you look at each sign, you're going, each house, you do each of the categories, and they put together the whole multi-layered, the in-depth thinking of what a house is. It can be on any of these levels that things happen. Okay, so now the next thing is there's a keyword for every house. So it's right, like the third house is rising. It's subjective. I'm rising out of my subjective being. It's intuitively. It's understanding, transforming, and trying to learn things and express myself. It's the house of expression is the keyword. How do we express ourselves? That's the third house concern. So these keywords really, they reinforce, they just give you a fixed idea. After this, you'll get a whole bunch of other keywords, like you might see brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, short travels, writing, communication. You'll find other words that are given. So in learning astrology, a lot of people memorize these words and they just use those words without understanding all the layers. But the layers come up and they build up, and then you see certain associations are more naturally there than not. But the keyword is expression for the third house. For the second house, the keyword is values. You're the house of having and being. You're rising, you're projecting what you have. You have your personal being. This is what I have. I'm projecting it. And you're intuitively, well, I'm going to do this with it. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to put this pants with this shirt and these things. I'm going to go out this way today. Or I'm going to comb my hair. I'm not going to comb my hair. Who cares? I mean, like whatever. You have things, you use them. And you're concerned about what you have. If you don't have enough things, how can you use them? If you're missing something, how do you get enough money to get it? So this is the house of values. The second house is the house that the keyword for it is values, which includes money, talents, resources, things you value, personally value. So usually we're expressing where we come from, and we're trying to explain what it's worth, what value it has. Why I'm doing this? I'm motivated to do this, but why? Because I want to get this. That's how we think. Okay. Then the first house is the rising, subjective, intuitive, angular, self, identity. It's my identity. It's not how you see me. It's my identity to myself. Before I even go out the doors, who I think I am. I'm confident, I'm not confident. So it's not static factors. Sometimes we're very confident, we project ourselves easily. Sometimes we're not, so we don't want to go out and deal with things. So this is our identity, and we have a certain sign and attitude to that. But the key word for the first house is identity. So these are different areas of concerns that come in. These ones might take a little, like once you go over this, the angular, succeeding cadent, the worlds of concerns, self, relationships, and rewards are the element houses. Those are just simple things to remember, and you can rebuild them every time. The keywords you get used to because you kind of remember them. They're repeating through it, but it gives you a language to talk about these things. Okay. 12th house, conscientiousness, consciousness, your conscience. Are you do you eat meat? Are you going to buy a gun? Do you support war? Are you trying to fight things? You have a conscience. What's worth doing? I wouldn't work at a company like that. I would work here. What am I going to do? Where do you fit in? What do you not fit in? It's based on how you're projecting yourself out into the world and whether you fit in or not. You're conscious of whether you're around friends or enemies. Your conscience, you're projecting in people either going along with you or not. So when you're a kid, hey mom, look at me, and then you get the attention and you get accomplished things. It's easy, but if no one's looking, it's harder. So this consciousness is this 12th house of what's right and wrong. It's a cadent that you're always trying to understand and transform according to your conscience. If you're going against your conscience, it's hard to build anything properly. It will keep falling apart, or sooner or later will. The 11th house is the house of friendships. Now, some people in traditional astrology put enemies in the 12th house, but I say your consciousness is 12th, and friends or enemies are the 11th house. People are either your friend or you're not. You can project out. How do you know if someone's your friend or not when you're projecting? Trying to be nice to you, say hi to somebody, you don't know if they're going to turn on you. That comes on the other side when you find out they weren't there. So the friendships is the relationship air, having friendships, people to talk with, communicate with, share ideas with, develop a consensus about. And the 10th house is the house of honor. The key word is honor. So honor comes with respect, dignity, status. If you have a job, do you do it well, you have honor. If you have a job, you haven't done it well, you're not going to get honor. It's not something you can order up. It's something you have to work for and other people give you. So honor is the 10th house. It's a concern of earth, practical, being in a position, do I get honor from my career? Am I being in my career honorably? Anything that builds honor or takes away from honor is going to be challenging the 10th house. Now, when you look at the morality house, you're going from, you're starting to react. I'm reacting in an objective functional area, trying to be sensitive and understand what it's a firehouse, so I have a pride about how I understand how people are relating and how I'm aligned, and my morality and principles come out of this reaction to other people. I'm just as good as you. I can react to you. I see what you're meaning. Like, I'm aligning with you. We have a common. We go to the same church. Whatever. It's that aligning. Or who do you choose to marry? Or who do you know? Or how are you aligning? This sensitivity based on the position you have or don't have. I don't have a good job, so I better take anybody. There's a certain morality. I have a great job. Why would I take someone less? You know, like, that's that. Okay. Or yeah. So this is the legal moral understanding. A firehouse. So when you get to the trust houses, the 8th house, it's the key word is trust, trustworthiness. Trust, no business is done without trust. Marriages are based on trust. Exchanges, business deals, these are all business, finance, it's all about trust. Wills, estates are all about who gets the trust. So who's getting what? Why are you aligned? If you get a divorce, how much do you deserve? How much is coming? This issue of trust. You're trying to do business. You want to put energy together with someone. Are you each putting similar amounts in? Is it workable? This sense of trust is the 8th house. Some of the keywords for the 8th house is usually death, but death means transformation. If things aren't working out, you have to transform the relationship to get the trust, or end it. Like these are issues of trust and having joint resources or not having. Rarely in the world is it perfect and everybody's got equal amounts of trust, equal amount of shared resources, and it works perfectly. Usually we're scrambling around on these ideas. So then the 7th house, the key word is partnerships. Relationships, but anyone you partnership, anyone you're sharing with, you're talking to someone, they're giving you feedback, you're putting energy out, you're talking, they're giving you feedback, and and as long as you're in a partnership and you're relating, you're talking about, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about that? Oh, you think that? I think this, and it's going along objectively. It's just sharing ideas, and it's a lot of fun. As soon as someone said, yeah, but you got fat this week, didn't you? You got a lot of weight on this month. Well, then you take it personally. Why did you say that in front of someone else? Like, so partnerships can give you good or bad feedback. As soon as you take something personally, you're out of the partnership and you're going below the horizon. So, but this is the energy a partner shares, whether your wife is happy or not happy, or your husband is happy or not happy. In the olden days, the samurai warriors would be incredibly sensitive to their wife. They'd be nice to them, they wouldn't want to get them mad, because if they don't get a good night's sleep, if they're not feeling good in their relationship, they're going to be insecure and they can get killed the next day. You know, so this togetherness, the sharing of ideas, are you on the same wavelength with your partner? You're trying to push your ideas and expect the partner is going to go along with it. How are you sharing in your relationship? It's not as simple. This is a big challenge, and many different ways that people play it. But this is partnership. We'll call it partnership, not just marriage. It's partnerships, sharing with anyone, how you exchange the ideas and how it comes back. So what you put out your ideas, and other people are going to respond to it. They're going to talk. They're going to say something. Here they're giving you the feedback, and you're deciding whether to take it personally or not. Interact objectively, or if it becomes personal, it goes down below the horizon. It starts to affect your personal sense of security. So duty is the 6th house. What's your duty? to do a good job, to be healthy, to keep your hygiene, to live properly, eat well. So hygiene, health is part of it. Finding skills that you can work with. So duty is a concern, I can transform my duty. I should make this better. I could make this better. And it's based on setting and below the rise and taking things personally, reacting to people. Did I do what you didn't do what you're supposed to do? Then you go back and try and fix it. You know, some people are high maintenance because they keep demanding more. You have to go back fixing this, fixing that. And it challenges a lot of things. But health too, like we have to adjust our health sometimes to get better, to feel better. And it's hard to do it if we're not around good relationships or good energy. Okay. If you got a cold and you're coughing all over the place, who wants to talk to you? They're going to pick up the cold. You're going to get an aversion. It's your duty to keep your own health and hygiene together and to have skills that you like. But we're not all brought up to know that this is our duty and these are the things we're supposed to do. We grow into these in our life. These are instinctive things that we have within us. How well we learn them is another issue. So performance, this is the ability to feel good. You're taking feedback from other people, you're getting the response, but you want to feel good about it. Like you're playing a guitar, you're talking to a group of people, and everyone's listening to you. Wow, it's easy to be the performer. If you're performing and you want the attention, but nobody's paying attention to you. Hey, Mom, look at me, and nobody's looking. Hey, honey, wasn't that great? And nobody's looking. It's going to challenge your performance level. So performance includes romantic performance, sexual performance, artistic performance, creative performance, just playfulness. Some people have a very impaired sense of playfulness, but they can perform in strict or rigid. There's 12 different attitudes to how you perform. So the performance is just the icing on the cake, and it integrates the ideas of the other categories as they come through. And the last of the key words is security, the fourth house, home. So let's say in astrology, a lot of books will say this is your house of your home and your mom. But really, it's your house of security. Mom and home are part of it. How you feel secure, where do you live, where did you live, are you coming from a secure place or a not secure place? All of these factors are the main. So this is the main keywords up to the houses. Now, where are we? Okay. And so now we've got we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 basic categories to develop understanding of each house. So when the sun's in a house, it's going to be important for you to understand and work with the 6 categories that sun activates. So at each level, there'll be a challenge, a 6-level challenge for having a sun or a planet in the house. And on each level, you can have, you could be working, you can have all of 6 levels, but your consciousness is focusing on one level, and you're processing primarily on one of these levels. And sometimes just adding another level or redirecting some of the energy on one level that's locked, that's a problem, can heal a big problem in life. Okay, now